Welcome back to another video, and today we have the event for Monster Jam sign-up series number 207. So before we get things started, I am very quickly going to show you guys the field of trucks, which that is what you guys are looking at right now. So basically you guys just have to look for your name and you can see which truck you are in. So for this sign-up series, I actually ended up getting a total of 100 sign-ups, which is huge. That is pretty much my goal every single time, and the last couple sign-up series I only got like around 90 to 95, but this time I got 100 signups, which is huge. And yeah, this is going to be a very big event. I cannot wait to get this underway. So like I said before, just look for your name and you can see which truck you're in. This is taking me a minute here just because there's so many people in the event. And recently I stopped making the actual Field of Trucks videos, and I now just show the Field of Trucks like this in the beginning of every single event. So this is the final page right here. And we are going to be ending it off with Patrick the MJ Fan in Queen Bee. So that is the Field of Trucks, and now we are going to take a look at the races. So here are all of the trucks right here. So here's the races. We're going to kick it off with the Zombie Mohawk Warrior taking on the Ride Truck El Toro Loco. And there's the rest of the first row heading into the second row right here. And now here is the third row. So just look for your truck and you guys can see who you are racing in round number 1. After this, I will very quickly show you guys the track. It's the same as always, but just in case you guys are new to my sign-up series, I will show the track. So here is the second to last row. And now we are going to be getting into the very last row here. So again, look for your truck and you can see who you are racing. And the final race of round number 1 is going to be between Inverse Brodozer and the Training Trucks Dragon. So those are all of the races. Now here's how the track is going to work. As always, we have the show-off showdown ramp, the basic ramp, and the trucks are going to go down. Right here is the racing area. Now at the end here we have a line with my laptop, and then actually we have a couple Reveal the Steel packs right here, trying to make the straightest line as possible. I will actually fix this, but basically, if both trucks hit this line, whoever hits it first will be the truck that advances, and if they do hit it at the exact same time, then we will do a rerun. And yeah, that's pretty much how the track works. So without further ado, we're almost 3 minutes into this video now, so we're going to kick things off with the Zombie Mohawk Warrior taking on the Ride Truck El Toro Loco. So sign-up series 207 is underway. And the first winner is going to be me and the Zombie Mohawk Warrior. Next up, we have the Red Bakugan Dragonoid taking on the Hunter Earthshaker. And it looks like Earthshaker is going to take the win. Next up, we have Stone Crusher taking on Backwards Bob. And it looks like Backwards Bob is going to take the win. Stone Crusher did not even hit the line. Next up, we have Thrasher taking on Fire Gravedigger. And Fire Gravedigger is going to defeat Thrasher. Next up, we have the World Finals 16 Bounty Hunter taking on the 2019 Fire Megalodon. And Megalodon is going to take the win over Bounty Hunter. Next up, we have the Red Crustacean taking on Sparkle Smash. And Crustacean flips over. That's going to give the win to Sparkle Smash. Next up, we have the Power Beast El Toro Loco taking on the Inverse Alien Invasion. And Power Beast El Toro Loco is going to block Inverse Alien Invasion for the win. Next up, we have Ice Monster Mutt taking on the Curse of the Gasoline Scooby-Doo. And Scooby-Doo rolls over, and it looks like that's going to give the win to the Ice Monster Mutt. Next up, we have a battle of the Inverse Trucks. We have the Inverse Stunt Truck taking on the Inverse Northern Nightmare. And it looks like the Stunt Truck is going to block Northern Nightmare for the win. Next up, we have the Creatures Son of a Digger taking on the Ride Truck Megalodon. And Megalodon is going to take the win over the Creatures Son of a Digger. Next up, we have the Overcast Megalodon taking on the Fire Soldier Fortune Black Ops. And it looks like Fire Soldier Fortune Black Ops is going to take the win. Next up, we have Superman taking on Yeti. And it looks like Superman is going to turn to the side, and that's going to give the win to Yeti. Next up, we have the Overcast Earthshaker taking on the Mohawk Warrior Vampire. And this is going to be a very close race, but as you guys can tell from the aerial view, it looks like Mohawk Warrior Vampire is going to take the win. Next up, we have Nitro Neon's Megalodon taking on Black Pearl. And Megalodon rolls over. I think he might have done a front flip there, but that is going to cost him the win, and it's going to go to Black Pearl. Next up, we have Soldier Fortune taking on Monster Mutt Poodle. And they both go to the left, and it looks like it's going to go to Monster Mutt Poodle. Next up, we have Training Truck Zombie taking on Raisin Cane. And Raisin Cane is going to get the huge upset win over the Training Truck Zombie. I honestly think that might be the first time ever that the Training Truck Zombie has ever lost in round 1 on my channel. That was huge right there. As next up, we have Monster Mutt Dalmatian taking on Jurassic Attack. And this is going to be a close race, but it's going to go to Jurassic Attack. Next up, we have the Mix 8 Whiplash taking on the Fire Pirate's Curse. And it looks like it is going to go to Whiplash. Next up, we have the World Finals 20 Avenger taking on the Ride Truck Gravedigger. And it's going to go to the Ride Truck Gravedigger. Next up, we have a Battle of the Ice Trucks. We have Ice Alien Invasion taking on the Ice Northern Nightmare. And it looks like Northern Nightmare is going to take the win over Alien Invasion. Next up, we have the Stunt Truck taking on the Elemental Hurricane Force. And this is another close race, but it looks like it's going to go to the Elemental Hurricane Force. Next up, we have Full Charge taking on Bad News Travels Fast. And it looks like Full Charge is going to take the win over Bad News Travels Fast. Next up, we have Salvager taking on Radical Rescue. And it looks like Radical Rescue is going to defeat Salvager. Next up, we have Mohawk Warrior taking on World Finals 21. And Mohawk Warrior flips over early, and that's going to give the win to World Finals 21. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Husky taking on the Joker. And Husky flips over early. He did pretty much the same thing that Mohawk Warrior did, and that is going to give the win to the Joker. Next up, we have Queen Bee taking on Ice Cream Man. And ooh, they both have pretty bad runs, and they both turned. But let's go straight down. And it looks like just barely Queen Bee is going to take the win over Ice Cream Man. Next up, we have the Elemental Dragon taking on Racing Stripes. And wow, Racing Stripes had kind of an awkward tumble there, and that's going to give the win to the Elemental Trucks Dragon. Next up, we have the Nitro Neons Max D taking on Wolf's Head. And Wolf's Head is going to block the Nitro Neons Max D for the win. Next up, we have the Inverse Gravedigger taking on the Reckless El Toro Loco. And Inverse Gravedigger is going to block Reckless El Toro Loco for the win. Next up, we have California taking on the Zombie Monster Mutt. And Zombie Monster Mutt is going to take the win over California because he hit the line first. Next up, we have Zombie Blue Thunder taking on Horsepower. And Blue Thunder hit the line first, and he's going to take the win over Horsepower. Next up, we have Boneyard Pirate's Curse taking on the Mix 12 Wonder Woman. And the Mix 12 Wonder Woman is going to take the win over Boneyard Pirate's Curse. Next up, we have Scooby-Doo taking on Avenger. And it looks like Avenger is going to take the win over Scooby-Doo. Next up, we have Grandma Gravedigger taking on the Holiday Stunt Truck. And it looks like, well, since this is the racing lane going straight this way, pretty much if you just draw a straight line here, Grandma Gravedigger is going to take the win, because I'll even prove it here. If you go straight down, I know it's a really awkward angle. I hate when the trucks do this because people don't realize, like, if you like go straight from where the track is, like straight up, and then right here where the race is, Grandma Gravedigger's right front tire is sticking out, so he is going to take the win. Next up, we have Calavera taking on the Mix 12 Aftershock. And it looks like Aftershock is going to defeat Calavera. Next up, we have Nomad Avenger taking on the Zombie El Toro Loco. And Zombie El Toro Loco is going to take the win, as you can see right here. He hit the line and Nomad Avenger didn't. Next up, we have Ice Gravedigger taking on Slinger. And Ice Gravedigger flips over, and that's going to give the win to Slinger. Next up, we have Inverse Higher Education taking on Freebird. And it looks like Freebird is going to take the win over the Inverse Higher Education. Next up, we have your reigning championship truck, the Ride Truck BKT, and he is taking on Batman. And Batman is going to take the win. He hit the line first, so BKT will not win back-to-back. Next up, we have Fire Horsepower taking on Florida. And Fire Horsepower flips over, and that's going to give the win to Florida. The Training Trucks Gravedigger taking on the Boneyard Son of a Digger. And it looks like Boneyard Son of a Digger is going to take the win. Next up, we have Thunder 4x4 taking on the Gold Bakugan Dragonoid. And it looks like Gold Bakugan Dragonoid is going to take the win over Thunder 4x4. Next up, we have the 5-pack exclusive Ice El Toro Loco taking on Hurricane Force. And it looks like Hurricane Force is going to take the win. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Purple Jester. And Cyclops is going to take the win. Next up, we have the Power Beast Megalodon taking on Iron Outlaw. And it looks like Iron Outlaw is going to take the win. Next up, we have the Overcast Dragon taking on the Fire Max D. And Fire Max D is going to take the win over Overcast Dragon. Next up, we have Maximum Destruction taking on the Hunter Soldier Fortune. And it looks like Soldier Fortune hit the line first, so he will take the win. Next up, we have Zombie Dragon taking on Texas. And Zombie Dragon does a front flip, and that is going to cost him. Texas will take the win. Next up, we have Reckless Gravedigger taking on the Reveal the Steel Avenger. And that is going to be a very close race. Let's take a look at the aerial view. And if we go straight down, you guys can obviously tell that Reckless Gravedigger is going to take the win over the Reveal the Steel Avenger. And next up, we have the final race of round number 1, which is between the Inverse Brodozer and the Training Trucks Dragon. And oh, that is an extremely close race, but as you guys can tell from the aerial view, the left front tire of Training Trucks Dragon is sticking out. You guys can even tell right there when I go straight down. So he will take the win over Inverse Brodozer. Alright guys, so that will conclude round number 1. We started with 100 trucks, and now here's a look at round number 2 with 50 trucks remaining. Now one quick thing that I do want to apologize for really quickly is I'm not sure if you guys can tell, but especially in this clip right here, if you look on the left hand side of my screen, like the trucks on the left side versus the ones on the right, you guys may notice that the left hand side is a little bit blurry. It's not like fully HD like the right side is, and honestly, I don't know exactly what happened. There's been something wrong with the camera on my phone for the past couple days, and I don't really know what's up, so I do apologize that the left side is blurry. I mean, it's not terrible. You guys can obviously still tell what's going on, but it is definitely something that is noticeable, so I just wanted to point that out. I do apologize for that, but anyways, enough talking. We're already like 12 and a half minutes into this video. We're going to kick things off in round number 2 with a Zombie versus Hunter battle between Zombie Mohawk Warrior and Hunter Earthshaker. So round number 2 is underway. And the first winner is going to be the Zombie Mohawk Warrior. Next up, we have Backwards Bob taking on Fire Gravedigger. And it looks like Fire Gravedigger is going to take the win. Now, I know that Backwards Bob did hit this cord right here where all my NASCARs are, but if you go back and watch the clip, Fire Gravedigger hit the line before Backwards Bob even got to that stuff. Normally, like if Backwards Bob hit that before Gravedigger got to the line, I probably would do a rerun, but in this scenario, I am not going to, since Backwards Bob hit the stuff after Gravedigger already hit the line, so Gravedigger will take the win. Next up, we have the 2019 Fire Megalodon taking on Sparkle Smash. And it looks like Sparkle Smash is going to take the win. He hit the line first. Next up, we have the Power Beast El Toro Loco taking on the Ice Monster Mutt. And it looks like Power Beast El Toro Loco is going to defeat the Ice Monster Mutt. Next up, we have the Inverse Stunt Truck taking on the Ride Truck Megalodon. And they both go in complete opposite directions. But as you guys can tell from the aerial view right there, that is pretty much straight down. Inverse Stunt Truck is going to take the win. Next up, we have a Fire and Ice battle between Fire Soldier Fortune Black Ops taking on Yeti. And Black Ops flips over early, and that is going to give the win to Yeti. Next up, we have Mohawk Warrior Vampire taking on Black Pearl. And Black Pearl turns to the left, and as you guys can see from the aerial view, that is going to cost him. Mohawk Warrior Vampire will take the win. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Poodle taking on Raisin Cane. And Raisin Cane is going to get the come-from-behind win over Monster Mutt Poodle. Next up, we have Jurassic Attack taking on the Mix 8 Whiplash. And it looks like Whiplash is going to defeat Jurassic Attack. Next up, we have the Ride Truck Gravedigger taking on the Ice Northern Nightmare. And Ride Truck Gravedigger flips over. He ends up landing on all fours, but that is going to cost him, and Ice Northern Nightmare will take the win. Next up, we have Elemental Hurricane Force taking on Full Charge. And it looks like Full Charge is going to take the win. I don't know why the lighting is so bad. There we go. I got it to be a little bit better, but Full Charge will take the win. Next up, we have Radical Rescue taking on World Finals 21. And it looks like World Finals 21 hit the line first, so he will take the win. Next up, we have the Joker taking on Queen Bee. And, oh, Queen Bee almost had the upset win. They end up making contact, but as you guys can tell, the Joker is going to get it. Next up, we have two very cool-looking trucks. We have the Elemental Dragon taking on Wolf's Head. And it looks like Wolf's Head is going to take the win over the Elemental Dragon. Next up, we have Inverse Gravedigger taking on Zombie Monster Mutt. And it looks like Inverse Gravedigger is going to take the win. Next up, we have Zombie Blue Thunder taking on the Mixed 12 Wonder Woman. And it looks like Zombie Blue Thunder is going to edge out Wonder Woman. Next up, we have Avenger taking on the truck that got the very controversial win in round number 1, Grandma Gravedigger. And Grandma Gravedigger does a wheelie and then falls backwards on his roof, and that is going to give the win to Avenger. Next up, we have the Mixed 12 Aftershock taking on the Zombie El Toro Loco. And it looks like Zombie El Toro Loco is going to get the win over Aftershock. Next up, we have Slinger taking on Freebird. And Freebird is going to get the come-from-behind win over Slinger. Next up, we have Batman taking on Florida. And it looks like Florida's going to take the win over Batman. Next up, we have the Boneyard Son of a Digger taking on the Gold Bakugan Dragonoid. And the Boneyard Son of a Digger is going to roll over early, and that will give the win to the Gold Bakugan Dragonoid. Next up, we have Hurricane Force taking on Cyclops. And it looks like Cyclops hit the line first, so he will take the win. Next up, we have two very fast trucks. We have Iron Outlaw taking on the Fire Max D. And Fire Max D hit it first, so he's going to defeat Iron Outlaw. Next up, we have Hunter Soldier Fortune taking on Texas. And Texas is going to block the Hunter Soldier Fortune for the win. Next up, we have the final race of round number 2 until the Fast Loser race, which is going to be between the Reckless Gravedigger and Training Trucks Dragon. And they both go in different directions, and it looks like it's going to go to the Training Trucks Dragon. So there are 25 trucks that have advanced to round number 3, which is an odd number. So here are the 2 trucks that I have chosen for the Fast Loser race. Normally I would show the trucks that are still in first, but this video is almost 18 minutes long already. So let's jump right into it. We have Monster Mutt Poodle taking on Radical Rescue. And it looks like it is going to go to Monster Mutt Poodle. Alright, so that will officially conclude round number 2. And here's a look at all of the trucks in round number 3. There are 26 trucks remaining. We will also have a Fast Loser in this round, because 26 will go down to 13, which is an odd number. So here's all the races, and we're going to kick things off with Zombie Mohawk Warrior taking on Fire Gravedigger. So round number 3 is underway. And the first win is going to go to the Fire Gravedigger. Next up, we have Sparkle Smash taking on the Power Beast El Toro Loco. And Sparkle Smash rolls over early, and that is going to give the win to the Power Beast El Toro Loco. Next up, we have the Inverse Stunt Truck taking on Yeti. And they both do wheelies and both flip over, but Yeti is going to take the win over the Inverse Stunt Truck. Next up, we have Mohawk Warrior Vampire taking on Raisin Cane. And they both go in complete opposite directions, but as you guys can tell, Raisin Cane is slightly closer to the line, so Raisin Cane is going to take the win. Next up, we have the Mix 8 Whiplash taking on the Ice Northern Nightmare. And this is another close race, but as you guys can tell, Whiplash hit the line, so he will take the win. Next up, we have Full Charge taking on World Finals 21. And World Finals 21 is going to take the win over Full Charge. Next up, we have the Joker taking on Wolf's Head. And the Joker flips over early, and that's going to give the win to Wolf's Head. Next up, we have Inverse Gravedigger taking on the Zombie Blue Thunder. And Zombie Blue Thunder hit the line first. Now, this happened earlier in the event as well. If you guys go back and take a look at the clip, you can tell the Inverse Gravedigger hit this stuff right here, like the cord in the NASCARs. He hit it after Blue Thunder already hit the line, so I am going to count it. I apologize to whoever's in Inverse Gravedigger, but Zombie Blue Thunder is going to take the win. Next up, we have Avenger taking on Zombie El Toro Loco. And it looks like it's going to be Zombie El Toro Loco. Yes, it is. As you guys can tell, Avenger did not hit the line at all, so Zombie El Toro Loco is going to take it. Next up, we have Freebird taking on Florida. And Florida's going to take the win over Freebird. Next up, we have the Gold Bakugan Dragonoid taking on Cyclops. And it looks like Cyclops is going to take the win. Next up, we have two extremely fast trucks. We have Fire Max D taking on Texas. And Texas is going to get the come-from-behind win over the Fire Max D. That was extremely close, but even if you guys don't believe me, you can go back and watch that for yourselves. Texas did just barely hit the line first, so he will advance. Next up, we have the final race of round number 3 until the Fast Loser race, which is going to be between the Training Trucks Dragon and Monster Mutt Poodle. And Training Trucks Dragon has a terrible run. As you guys can see, he flipped over on his roof extremely early, and that's going to give the win to Monster Mutt Poodle. Alright, so a total of 13 trucks have advanced to round number 4, which is an odd number, and here are the 2 trucks that I have selected for the Fast Loser race. We have 2 pretty new trucks, both from Mix 14. It is the Joker taking on Full Charge. Let's see who's going to get it. And it is going to go to the Joker. He is going to block Full Charge for the win. Alright, so here's a look at all of the trucks that have advanced to round number 4. There are a total of 14 trucks, and we will have yet another Fast Loser race in this round, because 14 would go down to 7, which is an odd number. So we will need a Fast Loser to get the last spot for the quarterfinals. And without further ado, we're going to kick things off with the Fire Gravedigger taking on the Power Beast El Toro Loco. So round number 4 is underway. Who's going to be the first person to advance to the quarterfinals? Fire Gravedigger flips over, and it's going to be the Power Beast El Toro Loco. Next up, we have Yeti taking on Raisin Cane. And Yeti flips over early, and that's going to give the win to Raisin Cane. Next up, we have the Mix 8 Whiplash taking on World Finals 21. And it's going to be Whiplash. Next up, we have Wolf's Head taking on the Zombie Blue Thunder. And Zombie Blue Thunder is going to defeat Wolf's Head. Next up, we have Zombie El Toro Loco taking on Florida. And Florida's going to take the win. Next up, we have Cyclops taking on Texas. And Cyclops has a terrible run. I don't know what that was by Cyclops, but nonetheless, that is going to give the win to Texas. Next up, we have Monster Mutt Poodle taking on the Joker. And Monster Mutt Poodle is going to take the win. He did hit it first, just barely. And, well, the Joker's not pressed up, but I think he did hit it and bounce off. But if you guys don't believe me, you can go back and watch it for yourselves. Monster Mutt Poodle did hit it first, so he's going to take the win. So here's a look at the 7 trucks that have advanced to the quarterfinals. And now it is time to see who will be the Fast Loser to take on Monster Mutt Poodle in the quarterfinals. Here are the 2 trucks that I have selected. We have Fire Gravedigger taking on Wolf's Head. Let's see who's going to get it. It is going to go to Wolf's Head. And now we are down to the quarterfinals of Monster Jam Sign-Up Series number 207. So let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of the Power Beast El Toro Loco, we have Mini Mellow YT. Inside of Raisin Cane, we have Monster Jam X10. Inside of the Mix 8 Whiplash, we have Boy Boy 3240. Inside of the Zombie Blue Thunder, we have Daniel Patino. Inside of Florida, we have James Freitas. Inside of Texas, we have Monster Jam Dallas. Inside of Monster Mutt Poodle, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. And inside of Wolf's Head, we have Lord Kirby. So those are the 8 people left in the quarterfinals. I'm not really sure exactly which trucks and which drivers have won. I'll look back at the list once I get down to the semis. But yeah, that is the quarterfinals. And without further ado, we're going to kick things off with the Power Beast El Toro Loco taking on Raisin Cane. So who is going to be the first person to advance to the semifinals? It is going to be the Power Beast El Toro Loco. Raisin Cane had a really good sign-up series. He beat a lot of fast trucks and made it a lot farther than I thought he would, but he falls just short to the Power Beast El Toro Loco. Next up, we have the Mix 8 Whiplash taking on Zombie Blue Thunder. And it looks like Whiplash is going to take the win over Zombie Blue Thunder. Next up, we have a state truck battle between Florida and Texas. And it looks like Texas is going to take the win over Florida. Next up, we have the final race until the semifinals, which is going to be between Monster Mutt Poodle and Wolf's Head. And it's going to be Monster Mutt Poodle. And now we are down to the semifinals of Monster Jam Sign-Up Series number 207. So let's go over the field of trucks. Inside of the Power Beast El Toro Loco, we have Mini Mellow YT. Inside of the Mix 8 Whiplash, we have Boy Boy 3240. Inside of Texas, we have Monster Jam Dallas, and inside of Monster Mutt Poodle, we have Monster Jam Fanatic. So for these trucks, the only truck here that has ever won before is Texas. It has one win, which was actually just 2 sign-up series ago, back in Series 205. Now, Whiplash has won in the points competition before, but it's never won a sign-up series. Now, as for the drivers, Mini Mellow YT, Boy Boy 3240, and Monster Jam Dallas all have 0 wins, and they're looking to get their first. But the driver of Poodle, which is Monster Jam Fanatic, he is a 2-time champion, looking for 3. Now, the fact that he is a 2-time champion, do not let that fool you. He has not won in 141 sign-up series. His last win was back in sign-up series 66, when he was in the Hot Wheels Monster Jam dump truck. He also won sign-up series 22 in Western Renegade. So it has been over 140 sign-up series since he last won, and he's looking to finally break the drought and get his 3rd ever win. But that is the semifinals, and without further ado, we're going to kick things off with Mini Mellow YT and the Power B-Cell Toro Loco taking on Boy Boy 3240 in the Mix 8 Whiplash. So who is going to advance to the championship race? Mini Mellow YT or Boy Boy 3240? It is going to be Boy Boy 3240 in the Mix 8 Whiplash. You have advanced to the championship race, and I am so sorry to Mini Mellow YT and the Power B-Cell Toro Loco. You are so close to getting your first ever win, man. Better luck in sign-up series 208 to you. But Boy Boy 3240 is in the championship race. So who is going to meet Boy Boy 3240 and Whiplash in the championship race? Is it going to be Monster Jam Dallas in Texas or Monster Jam Fanatic and Monster Mutt Poodle? It is going to be Monster Jam Dallas in Texas. That was such a close race, but even if you guys don't believe me, you can go back and watch that clip for yourselves. Man, oh man, Monster Jam Fanatic and Monster Mutt Poodle unfortunately has been eliminated. Like I said before, he has not won since sign-up series 66. He was so close to breaking the drought. He falls inches short of making it to the championship race. So sorry, man. Better luck next time in sign-up series 208, and maybe you can finally break the drought. But Monster Jam Dallas in Texas is in the championship race. And now we are down to the championship race of sign-up series number 207. So this is what it all comes down to. Mix 8 Whiplash has never won before, and neither has the driver, which is Boy Boy 3240. Now, Texas is a 1-time championship truck, but the driver has never won before, which is Monster Jam Dallas. So we will have a new driver to win, but the question is, will we have a new truck? Let's find out. Your winner of Monster Jam Sign-Up Series number 207 is going to be none other than... Well, that's how the championship race ends. I wish it was a better race than that, but let's find out who it is. It's pretty obvious, but I'm just going to show you guys. If you go straight down from where the ramp is, and then a little bit over to the side to where the trucks are right here, we're going to go straight down, and you guys can tell right there, look at the top of your screen, you can tell that the right front tire of Whiplash is sticking out, and your winner is Boy Boy 3240 in the Mix 8 Whiplash. Congratulations, man. You have got your first ever win, and Whiplash gets its first ever win as well. Congratulations, man. This is a very well-deserved victory, and you have won Sign-Up Series 207. Now, Monster Jam Dallas, you were in Texas, and man, oh man, you have came so close so many times. I think this is the first time you ever made it to the championship race. You might have done it one other time, but either way, I know you've never won before because I have a list, and you have never won before, and you've been signing up for my sign-up series for quite some time, so I am so sorry, man, but better luck in sign-up series 208 to you, bro. But anyways, guys, congratulations one last time to Boy Boy 3240 in the Mix 8 Whiplash, and that is pretty much going to do it for this video. So if you guys are new to my channel, make sure you guys subscribe, and then as always, leave a like on the video, turn on post notifications, and comment anything you guys want to down in the comments below, and I will see you guys next time.